You're such an asshole.
Everybody, the old captain here. We have requested. If you have requested, go to assholeconsulting.com. Send me your question and your money, and I will answer it. You say, oh my God, why should I hire you? Who the fuck are you? Go back to watching, what's her name? Billy Ray Cyrus's Miley Ray Syphilis. Go back to doing whatever it is you do, and let the adults talk here. I've noticed recently on social media that even after Hillary rigged the primary against Bernie Sanders, his supporters are now on board with Hillary and will be voting for her in November. Well, of course. On the other hand, the Never Trump Republicans I see on social media say they're going to vote for Gary Johnson, Hillary Clinton, or stay home. What do you think is a good argument to say to these people to unite Republicans like Democrats did with Hillary? Many of them think Trump is an asshole and they don't like his tone. I usually tell them to look at the bigger picture, and with amnesty and open borders, Republicans will never win again. This does not seem to work. Well, okay, let's explain why the Democrats unite and why the Republicans don't. The Republicans actually have a lot more principles than your average Democrat. And I mean the people, not the politicians. Democrats, in general, are one of two people. They are either well-intentioned idiots who've never looked at the budget. They really don't know what is going on. They just, well, I just for the little people. And even though they're well-intended people, I feel like punching them in their face when they say it, because the total ignorance of that statement is just maddening, and we are going to lose the country because, well, I'm just for the little people. I think the Democrats are for the little people. It's like, have you looked at the budget? Do you know, is Hillary Clinton a little people? So anyway, so that's the good people on their side, which are stupid, and then you have just the outright parasites, which I think, especially given the millennials, are an increasingly higher and higher percentage. These people don't give a shit. They just want the fucking money of other people, and they don't want to work. They either don't want to outright work and just collect a government check, or they want to do fake work and have the government create fucking jobs out of thin air on the back of taxpayers, so they can be professors, fucking pathetic artists, architects, whatever bullshit that passes for a leftist career or profession. So they have no real principles or loyalty one way or another. I would say some actually had a loyalty just for more of other people's money. That's why they went with Bernie Sanders. But there wasn't anything moral or principle about theft or parasitism. So you're not, it's the rats are sinking the fleeing ship. The maggots are eating on the dead flesh. I mean, it's what parasites do. So it's not like, wow, they got their game plan together. No, they just know which side the bread is buttered on. That's the way they're going. Republicans are a little bit more principled, which is how we kind of got into this mess with Trump. They got sick and tired of fucking, hey, we're going to vote in another guy from the machine who's never worked a fucking day in his life. What's his name? Cruz. And we want you guys keep pushing these pathetic candidates who aren't the best candidates to win for America, but they're connected. Fucking Mitt Romney, my fucking God. I mean, and there's no intelligence in the Republican Party either when they're coming up with McCain and Romney. It's like, do you do any market? Do you do anything but missionary position with your wife? Are you aware of the rest of the world and maybe a little bit? And fucking Herman Cain was like, okay, there was a great guy, and Ben Carson, there was another great guy. And it's not because they were black. It's because, dude, fucking Herman Cain had some charisma and charm, businessman, and then Ben Carson. Fucking brain surgeon. Oh, we don't want that guy. Fuck no. What the fuck? He was my guy before he dropped out. But anyway, the larger point is that the Republicans are more principled. Say, get the fuck out of here. We're done with it. We don't care if he's a loudmouth. He's actually speaking the honest truth. He's not a corruption. He's not a rhino. And so now we ended up with Trump. So don't think like you're talking to the same people like, oh, what can I say that the Democrats said to their people to get them to unite? You're dealing with people who are actually principled, whether you disagree with them or not, they are holding to whatever principles. And so you're going to need to do a different tactic, stuff like that. I have also jumped into politics temporarily as a volunteer for county Republican headquarters there. I went door to door handing out leaflets and getting people registered to vote. I donated $100 to his campaign. I have also argued on social media for Trump and talked to my friends and family about the election. What do you think is the best way for a Trump supporter that does not have an online following to convince people to vote for Trump? And then you have a final question. All right, so let's go back. How do you get people to vote for Trump on the Republican side? Here's what you do. You point out, and this is how I view the election, and don't and trust me, I'm not excited about Trump. You basically point out to anybody, Democrat or Republican, you never have the right to complain about politics as usual if you vote for Hillary. For the first time, America has a non-establishment candidate. Now, he or she may not be on your team, and you may disagree with their policy. I understand that. But Trump is the first guy who largely comes from the private sector with all the baggage that he has, all the problems, all the diarrhea of the mouth, all of it combined. He's still a better candidate than any candidate that ran, except for maybe Ben Carson and Carla Fiorina. And certainly better than Hillary, because he's not a politician. This is how it should have been. Now, we have an opportunity to experiment, success or fail, all right? But doing the same thing over and over again, as was Einstein said or whoever said, and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. We have to experiment, and a lot of these experiments are going to fail until we find an ideal candidate, an optimal candidate. And Donald Trump is the first step towards knocking it off with this same old connected crony political bullshit. I mean, for fuck's sake, the Democrats who are pissed off at George Jr. getting elected because he's George Sr.'s son, I understand the hatred of nepotism. But what's the difference between this and now the spouse of a former president? All right? You have the opportunity, both Democrat or Republican, whatever you want to call yourself, to vote for somebody who is not a career politician. And then the other argument I would make is it's Hillary. I mean, are you joking? I mean, the Democrats are not that excited. It's like, you got a gal who now increasingly looks like, yeah, there might actually be hitmen involved with her. It's yet to be determined. But we don't need any more shit, thrown on this mountain of feces. This gal is just corrupt as all hell. I mean, that's blatant. That's obvious. At least Trump is like, I don't know. He's not her. He's not her. So that's the other argument. So I would say, look, if this country is going to have any hope, we should have started a long time ago. We didn't wait till now. We got to start getting non-politicians in there. And that's why we would vote for Donald Trump. He's probably the worst non-politician we could have picked on the Republican side. Again, I would have liked Ben Carson or Herman Cain or maybe an Ollie North. That's too old for you kids nowadays. Get some normal people to run for office, some real American citizens, not these career politicians. We got to start this experiment now. So whatever the failings, the cardinal sin that Trump is not guilty of is he's not an establishment, lifelong politician like Hillary. So that's the thing. Final question. Many suburban white female Republicans I've talked to do not like Donald Trump. Well, tough fucking shit. What do you think he is doing wrong? Well, he's not doing anything wrong. It's the him grab him by the pussy, and that's the locker room talk getting caught off camera. He's acting like a guy. The media's running with it. You know what's wrong with Trump in this regard? Well, he's probably a little crass, right? But nothing. He's just like any other guy. We just usually hide that from the ladies because we can be guys and we can talk our bullshit talk. Yeah, I'd fuck her. Shit. Fucking listen to the Beckloff podcast. He's talking about how he'd like to nail Laura Southern. He says, I like to look at her, like fuck her from behind and look in the mirror so I could have her see me defiling her. I'm like, whoa! Fucking Christ! But that's guy talk. And now for these, girls, another Beckloff quote, who clutch their pearls in their purses when they hear men acting like men, they don't realize that we keep them from that. We keep, because we don't want to piss them off or anger them or just insult them, We kind of keep that in the last one. It's called locker room talk. But these gals, it's like what? Your husband doesn't say the same thing, and shut the fuck up. Jesus, fucking go vote for Hillary then. Fine. Because these gals have children too. That's the other thing. You say you ask who's going to have a better financial future, your husband or you, or not your husband. Who's going to have a better financial future for your children, Hillary or Trump? Which one? And heaven forbid that those gals have boys. But yeah, suburban white female Republicans. You want to talk about? I mean, every once in a while there's a cool one. You want to talk about just cheerleaders and Me Tooism, and my hubby makes the money, and that's why what do you say? I don't know. I say, okay, yeah, he's a guy. Yeah, and all guys talk like that. So who do you want? Do you want Hillary, or do you want the guy who's like honest? Or do you want a normal guy, or do you want Hillary? It really is, and it don't get too complicated, because I'm imagining, I have a degree in child psychology, but I didn't get a master's, and then I met Bob, and Bob took care of everything, and he's an engineer, an accountant, and I just stay here, and, I paint, and I have an Etsy account. I mean, those are the type of girls. Just say, do you really want Hillary? That's the level of argument they're going to be able to handle, so. Anyway, that's about it. Let me finish reading here. What do you think he is doing wrong? I would think, according to Red Pill Theory, that a confident, assertive, tall, funny, and rich man like Donald Trump would do well with. Well, secretly he might, but and then the gal's got to say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so insulted." So you never know how they're gonna pull the lever in the voting booth. But yeah, I don't know. I am very excited and proud of you that you are expending your time on this. I do not donate any of my time to any political candidates, because the political candidate should be so compelling and good that you don't need to go and convince people. They say, look at this guy. If they picked a decent guy, this would, But, I don't know. You're wasting your time with white female suburbanite Republicans. So, but after this, hope you'll learn your lesson after this election not to do this ever again. Don't donate your time. Maybe donate your money, but don't donate your time. So, anyway, best of luck to you. Toodles.